I'd like to remind everyone that I do not condone nor endorse anybody who I talk about on Twitterverses, and this is especially important to point out as today we are talking about extreme conservative Nicholas J. Fuentes. He is so right-wing in fact that one of his friends, Baked Alaska, helped storm the US Capitol. The FBI asked for info on anyone who helped in the riot, and Keemstar quote tweeted them to say, "Dear FBI, one of the people inside the Capitol yesterday is Baked Alaska. He's a banned YouTube streamer who fights on the streets, and as soon as punches are about to be thrown, he maces people and runs away like a pussy. And to all the people calling me a snitch, Baked Alaska literally live streamed himself in the Capitol building. He snitched on himself. And before yesterday, he's built a career on attacking innocent people with mace. Literally F this guy, and F all of his fans." Nicholas J. Fuentes quote tweets Keem and says, "You are scum, dude. I cannot wait until they ban your YouTube channel and destroy your platform, you fucking slave. Enjoy your 30 pieces of silver." Keemstar quote tweets him and says, "Laughing my fucking ass off. I'm gonna enjoy freedom when your bitch-ass friend that maces innocent people in the streets gets locked up. I'ma laugh at your ass. You should probably take your anger to a speech therapy class because I seen a speech of yours. You were stuttering non-stop." Nicholas quote tweets him and says, "You don't have freedom. You are a butt-boy slave for Susan Wojcicki. Your far more courageous friends like Leafy and others get banned while you obediently straddle the line like a good little dog making meaningless drama content. Here's a drama alert. You're a fucking loser." Keemstar then ats Nick directly and says, "And if you think for any minute that you are scary or intimidating, you are a fucking clown. A straight up red-nosed motherfucking clown." To which Nick responds with, "The Joker." Keem then tweets out, "Nick, your extremism will result in you losing all your freedom. Lindsey Graham just said on CSAPN that you and Baked Alaska are getting arrested. You are afraid of accepting defeat because the extremist following you have will turn on you. Don't be a coward! Except you lost." Deleted the tweet because Nick claims he was never in the Capitol building. And in my tweet I suggest he was based on the other reports I saw. I don't know if he was or wasn't, but I know Baked Alaska was, and he's fucked. Biden is our president. Accept it.
I see a lot of people calling me a grifter or whatever the fucking term is, right? It's no secret that I supported Trump. I endorsed him in 2014 to the point where the president himself retweeted me. And I voted for him in 2016. And in the 4 years that Trump was president, he did a lot of good for America. And I fully believe that. And I know me just saying that right now makes so many people seeing this hate me, hate my guts. But not every average American is taking time to pay attention to what lawmakers and what the president is doing. Most people get their information from the media, and the media has been running a fucking negative propaganda thing against Trump this whole entire fucking time. And they lied to us about the Russian collusion bullshit. And that's just fact. But in 2016, when Trump won, people on the left were tweeting out, "Trump's not my president, not my president," and they got clowned on for that. They should have got clowned on for that. But now this whole thing with Trump versus Biden has been exhausted through the courts. I've listened to 16 hours of hearings, and yeah, I believe there was evidence of voter fraud. Was there proof? I wouldn't say hardcore proof, but definitely evidence. But this thing has been exhausted through the courts. You got to accept what the courts are saying. You know, we're a country of rules and laws. You know, it's the same thing like 2016. People are not accepting the results. It's done. It's over with. Biden is the president. Accept the results. Because the only thing left is violence. That is the only thing left, and that is not good for America. Joe Biden is my president, and I hope and pray that Joe Biden does good for America. Saying that he's not president is un-American at this point. This thing has went through the ringer and back. It's done.
Keemstar continues tweeting when he says, "Earlier today I was fighting with a right-wing extremist that was defending his friend who stormed the Capitol. Now Trump himself is saying they commit crimes and should be brought to justice. Keemstar wins again. He then quote tweets Donald Trump addressing this and says, "Damn, Nick Fuentes, that's a big L for you." Gen Z Groiper 2021 responds to Keem by saying, "Nick isn't the guy you want to mess with, bro." Keemstar responds, "Or what? Let me explain in detail absolutely fucking nothing." He then tweets out, "Nick Fuentes, get owned by Trump himself."
Just so we're on the same page, earlier today, the FBI says that they are looking for the identity of the people that stormed the Capitol building yesterday. So I remembered I saw Baked Alaska, an in-real-life YouTube streamer. He's banned now, but basically, this in-real-life streamer would start fights with innocent people on the street, and as soon as they want to defend themselves and fight back, Baked Alaska would mace them and run away like a bitch. So I don't like Baked Alaska. Have no respect for him. And he was one of the people that stormed the Capitol building yesterday. And he live streamed the whole thing on DLive. Him going into the Capitol building and him in Pelosi's office on her telephone saying that he was calling Trump. So when I saw this tweet from the FBI, I responded by saying Baked Alaska was one of the people in the Capitol building. And that's when Baked Alaska's good friend, Nick Flutie, or whatever the fuck his name is, responds back to me that, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he basically said that I was like a slave to YouTube. I was a slave to Susan Wojcicki, that I didn't have balls like Leafy to get myself banned. Talking all this types of fucking nonsense. And if you go to the guy's fucking page, he's literally supporting people storming the Capitol. All right? He thinks, the government's being overthrown by the Democrats, and he doesn't respect the courts or nothing. He thinks Donald Trump won the election. He's an extremist person. But now we have Trump. We have Trump coming out and saying that the people that stormed the Capitol building yesterday are fucking criminals that need to be brought to justice. We got Trump himself saying that the people that stormed the Capitol building aren't American. Very anti-American. That's not what we stand for. Oh my God. Look at you out there fighting a fucking war. Your buddies are storming the Capitol. You're talking all this shit on Twitter when Trump himself, your fucking leader, it doesn't agree with you. It's fucking hilarious. Big fucking L on your head. This is the problem with extremists. You do extreme shit and you fuck up. Dummy.
Nuka Troopa quote tweets Keem and says, "Nick living rent-free in his head." Keemstar responds, "What are you, 12? More tears, more tears." Nicholas quote tweets Trump and says, "People were willing to die for this man and he just threw them all under the bus. That's the only thing that's shameful about the events of the past 38 hours. I'm sure the usual suspects suggested that this was a good idea. I hope Trump reverses course, for our sake." Keemstar responds, "Cry more." Coey responds, "Rent-free," to which Keemstar responds, "Rent-free is all you got, that and a pile of L's." Kansas Zoomer quote tweets Keem and says, "You will cry for eternity when you were sent to hell." Keemstar responds, "I never planned to go to heaven, motherfucker." He then tweets out, "Now all his followers are calling me Jewish. How is this even an insult? What kind of trailer park are you people even from? On top of it, these are extreme right Trump supporters. Trump's children marry Jewish people. This doesn't even remotely make sense." German-American Groiper then screenshots a lot of Keemstar's tweets and captions it by saying, "This middle-aged man Keemstar, who spends his time and career reporting on tween YouTube drama, has spent all day subtweeting Nick Fuentes and snitching on Baked Alaska. He has no idea what he's getting himself into, and starting to cry foul already. What a loser." Keemstar responds, "Lol, cry more." Nicholas decided to respond to all of this on his podcast, America First. Here is what he said.
Bad boy says, "Keemstar sucks." Yeah, Keemstar sucks. What an idiot. I thought that guy was cool. Whoops. Just knocked over my headset. I thought that guy was cool. He's a faggot, dude. I mean, really. He's tweeting today, at FBI, Baked Alaska was in the Capitol. And, look, I know a lot of people don't like Baked Alaska, but you're really snitching on him to the federal government. So that was disgusting. Keemstar presents himself as like, I'm politically incorrect. You're a slave. You are a slave to the system. And people that are still playing this game, he's like, look, Biden won. We have to get on with our lives. It's like, what are you doing? Look at yourself. What are you doing, you pathetic slave? You know, and that guy should know better than anybody. He's on YouTube. How many of his friends have been censored by Susan Wojcicki? How many of his friends have had their livelihoods and their platforms destroyed unfairly by the same globalist regime, by Google? Google owns YouTube. Google, Alphabet, Alphabet 1 and Alphabet 2 are two of the biggest companies by market cap in the history of the world. That's who owns YouTube. That's who screwed over Keemstar's best friends. Google is, who do you think's funding all this stuff? Google works with the intelligence apparatus. They work with the national security apparatus. The reason they have so much power and money is because they do contracts for the federal government. And they sponsor all these lobbyists in Washington. They're so part of the globalist system. They constitute a massive part of it. And you're out there tattling the FBI, virtually part of that same blob machine. It's just gross. I mean, you have no dignity. You're nothing. You have no soul. You have no spirit. The guy talks about he's going to convert to Judaism and he's going to hell. Yeah, and that's about right, isn't it? And that's 100% exactly about right. Somebody said, you know, you're going to go to hell, dude. And he's like, I know, and I don't care. Yeah, well, people choose hell. So you have no dignity. You have no soul. You should be embarrassed. I mean, you're just like a pathetic, disgusting slave. Little piggy down on your hands and knees at the trough. Fill it up, you know. Tell the Fed globalist machine to fill it up for that muddy little piggy, that little dog, Keemstar, to eat out of it. Hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy. Like I said on Twitter, hope you enjoy your 30 pieces of silver, you turncoat piece of shit. Keemstar, yeah, he's a real YouTuber, yeah. Keep talking about drama, making bread and circus. Drama alert, yeah, I said on Twitter, drama alert, you're a fucking loser. And it's true. And it's so true. And it's so true, and I say it all the time. But it's true, we have to humiliate these people. These people have no dignity. That's the bottom line. I mean, you have to undermine their sense of self-worth. Like, you're not a man. I mean, you are a eunuch. They cut off your balls. You are a slave. You are owned. You are bought. They might as well put a big brand on your forehead. They might as well brand your forehead with the word slave. That's what you are. That's how we all see you. And you should be embarrassed. You should feel humiliated. You should feel ashamed. You're a disgrace. And no serious person should ever have anything to do with anybody that's a part of something like that. You know? Disgusting little dog. Give him a collar. Somebody send a collar to Keemstar's P.O. box that says, owned by YouTube, owned by Susan Wojcicki, a pathetic slave, tattling to the FBI. You know, yeah, Keemstar saying, LOL, Trump betrayed you, LOL, you're going to jail. Yeah, maybe I'll go to jail, but I'm never going to suck dick for YouTube like you. I know that's vulgar. I apologize. A lot of explicit language on this show, but understandably I'm upset, and that's what it is. I mean, that's what it is. It is vulgar. What's going on is vulgar. And it is disgusting. So that's the only way you can describe it. So yeah. So I'm happy to say that. I'll go away for a long time being me defiantly than I will before I get on my knees like Keemstar, so he can assuage the masses. No, I'm not going to offend anybody. Oh, I'm just a funny, silly guy. Yeah, you're a joke, dude. You're going to be forgotten. You're going to go to hell forever, and you'll be forgotten here on Earth. You'll be remembered as the slave. Keemstar, the court jester, the clown. And not a cool clown, like a clown that dances on a cop car. Like a clown that performs for Susan Wojcicki. Good for you. Anyway, so yeah, he sucks. I unfollowed him. I unfollowed a lot of people. I unfollowed Doug Mastriano. I unfollowed Keemstar. Anybody else? Maybe just those two. But yeah, he got totally humiliated. I owned him so hard, and he can't let it go. He's been tweeting at me all night because I owned him so hard, ratioed him to death. No, Nick, pay attention. Nah, I have no time for you. You lost. I won.
And that is about it for this drama. Again, I want to reiterate, I do not support Nick and his beliefs at all. He's completely outrageous in my opinion, but I did think the drama was entertaining, hence why I showed it here for you guys today. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on. I'd also like to give a very special thanks to my channel members, in particular Scrubby, who decided to donate $100 a month. That is absolutely insane. Thank you so much, dude. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.